What's up guys, this is Crypto James talking to you today about the Graph. Now the Graph is one of the most backed projects in the space by VCs. It was really popular when it came out. And it should be because it's all about, AI and big data, and big data is fundamentally, that's where the money is. I tell the story a lot of how Mark Zuckerberg figured out where Facebook can make its money from. I might do that again in this video, but the Graph, I still think there's gains to have on the Graph for sure, but the chart looks shocking as well. The graph of the Graph looks terrible. So I'm going to talk about that in this video as well. Before I get into any of it though, if you're new to the channel, these are the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel, and in those vids I showed everyone I was buying these cryptos up because I could see that they were going to make some good profits. Now, in 18 months, a lot of these coins hit new highs, right? I sold all these off. I've been buying up new cryptos. Now, say you'd have put in $100 into these coins when I actually put my videos out, and you cashed in on them, you sold them all 18 months down the line. $100 into each is a $2,600 investment. Your net profit from that investment would have been over 123 grand, which is pretty good. Now, the cryptos I've been buying up for the last couple of years now, effectively. And I share these coins that I'm in the same way I did with these on my website, copymycrypto.com. So anytime I buy a crypto, I let my members know what coin I'm buying, why I'm buying it, the gains that I think it can have, the profit that it can make, and the percentage of my money that I'm putting in. When I'm selling a coin, I do the same thing, except I'm saying what coin am I selling, what percentage am I selling, what am I doing with my profits, am I reinvesting, am I banking them, and I share that. So copymycrypto.com is where there is no work. Members join up and they can copy along. It's as simple as that. They make the same profits I do without doing any of the work. And I recommend you go back over your previous bull cycle. How did you get on? What profits did you make? Go on to copymycrypto.com, compare against the members. If you outperform the members, obviously you don't need copymycrypto.com, but if you didn't, if your numbers don't stack up against the copymycrypto members, then go read through that site thoroughly and see if this is good for you, because it may well help you out and take all the work out of your crypto investing, guys. Right, let's talk about the Graph. So first of all, let's look at the Graph of the Graph. So this is the all-time. Don't look great, Launched in sort of December of 2020, had a huge run-up in February, and then just capitulated. We saw all the coins drop. We had two waves of the last bull cycle. And its second wave, it didn't really touch the sides of the first sort of run that it had. In fact, the high that it hit was $2.88, which is obviously a long way off that now. It's also worth noting, guys, look, how do I get there? Let's have a look at their tags. What's annoying is the way that they've redone this damn site just irritates me. So the Graph, like I said, heavily backed. Okay, can't even be bothered to keep doing this, it's still in my head. So, right, as of right now, the Graph is obviously a long way off where its price point was at its peak. So, if you're unfamiliar, the Graph is an indexing protocol for querying data. And that's for networks like Ethereum and IPFS. And it powers a ton of different applications in both DeFi and the Web3 context. So anyone can build and publish open APIs called subgraphs, and the applications can query using GraphQL to retrieve blockchain data. Now, to date, there's been over 3,000 subgraphs that have been deployed. I'm sure that's way more now, by thousands of developers for dApps like Uniswap, Synthetics, Aragon, Aave, Genesis, Balancer, LivePeer, DAO Stack, Decentraland, and a ton others. And the Graph usage has been growing over 50% month on month, and it hit over 7 billion queries during the month of September 2020, which is obviously a huge number. Now, if you aren't aware, why is this got so slow today? If you aren't aware of the Graph, right, they have a few different products that are worth noting. So it's Graph Explorer. So this is where you can explore the subgraphs and interact with the actual protocol. You've got Subgraph Studio, which is your ability to create the API keys. And then they have the hosted service, which is where you can create and explore subgraphs within the hosted service. Now, look, data is where money is. Okay, so the story that I've told a bunch of times. So Mark Zuckerberg, obviously very well-off man, CEO of Facebook. Arguments about if he created Facebook. Anyway, so when the M-Pesa was knocking about, and this is literally a textable transaction, how you would send money via text in Africa. And it was hugely popular because you got to remember as well, there was not like, it was effectively that you could have a balance on your phone, you didn't necessarily need a bank account, but Zuckerberg got really interested in this, and the reason that he did is because he realized that these showed a series of microtransactions. These showed a person's payment history. These showed what people are interested in. And it's such simple tech, but it gave, but the people that created it effectively had access to millions and millions of pieces of data, billions of pieces of data of everyone's sort of history. And that's where he realized his money is. It's in the data that he can provide about, the people that use Facebook. What their data tells can be used for effectively for advertising. It can be used in an array of different ways. But he realized that those microtransactions, that's where the money is, because it's the data that's there. And that's what people have to bear in mind. Within the context of data, within crypto, that's a really unexplored area at the moment. And we've seen a few different projects in the past couple of years really grow around data. Graph is certainly one. And the whole premise is, look, you can get access to raw data that gives you a better ability to create something off the back of it when you can compare against data from potential competitors, where you can compare data through your ideal target audience. It gives people the ability to create a product that is more appealing to an audience. There is a huge area here where money can be made because projects need data. There's been 523 billion queries served since this was up and running. Think about that, 523 billion. And I expect this to continue. I expect there to be some serious growth in these kind of projects that can provide legitimate data that can be hugely beneficial for anyone starting off to your biggest crypto projects, like your Uniswaps. And the Graph is, still doing well, still chugging along. They're still hiring. They are looking for members to join them. They're looking for employees to join. Why? Because there is an immense amount of work around data. And it's not all automated like everyone would believe. So, make no mistake about it, the Graph has immense potential. It's also buyable everywhere. Guys, if you're going to get it, I'd highly recommend BitGet. I partnered with BitGet because I think they're going to be a top 5 exchange. One of the first things they did when they were created was get on board Lionel Messi as an ambassador. Think about that. And because I'm a partner, if you use the partner link in the description when you sign up, you get discounts on trading fees. But the big thing is, if you join up, you can get $1,000 right now. Like an airdrop. You've got to do a couple activities. If you're already doing the same activities, the trading or, just the investing on another exchange, join a new one, get your airdrop and invest that money. If you put if you get a $1,000 Tether airdrop, You put that into a crypto that 100x's, you made 100 grand doing nothing different other than joining a new exchange. Very little hassle. So if you're going to do it, if you're going to get the graph, I would highly recommend you get it at BitGet. And look, the graph's ecosystem is immense. There's literally no point going through it because it's so huge. What I will highlight is their grants system is in place. This is, if you want to create a project that's built upon the graph, you can earn developers can earn a bit of cash to help them get started. It's a great idea. It's very much something that you always should do if you've got the funds behind you. It's very much the field of dreams kind of quote. If you build it, they will come. But in this regard, it's if you pay them, the developers will come. And the graph's, grown immensely. Now, back to the chart. The chart looks grim. The long-term chart doesn't look good. It's actually lower now than when it launched. That doesn't mean it's not going to have gains. I look at the graph and I go, look, honestly, I think it's probably going to test $1.50, which still puts it at puts it at 13.5 billion market cap right now, which is, big. But it's supplying data. It's had data queries 523 billion times. Projects are using the graph a hell of a lot. And the reason for that is it's an outstanding service, and this data gives all these cryptos an opportunity to hit a target audience in a more strategic way. If they're going to create something from nothing, they can use that data to help target their ideal audience more effectively. There are so many huge benefits for big data, and the graph, as a result, should do quite well. A lot of volume was knocking around the $1.50 in its first wave of bull cycle. And in the second wave, I think it did test 150 again, around the November region. So I'd be looking at that as its target point. This is a quality project. Again, guys, remember, data is where the money is. If you are doing anything, whether it's business or hell, if you're a student, data is what's going to help you be successful. And the graph are right now at the forefront of supplying data within the crypto space. They're going to keep getting better at this. This is a gainer. This is for sure going to be a gainer. It's just how high does it go? I'm not convinced it will break its previous high, but it could. It really could. It's grown a staggering amount in a very small window. A 3-year window, 523 billion queries. That's immense. That's huge. So, something to consider. Something to consider. And if you're going to get it, like I said, get it at BitGet, because if you've not got an account there, you can open one with the link in the description, and that will get you potentially $1,000 as an airdrop, which is never a bad thing. And guys, if you want to take the work out of your crypto investing, if you want to just go, I am done with this, I need someone to just tell me what's going on, copymycrypto.com is where you can go. It's where I jump into the markets every day. I find the coins I like. When I find a coin that I think is a winner, I get in on it. I tell the members about it. I tell them why I'm getting in on it. I show them what percentage of my money I'm putting in, and they can copy along. It's exactly the same when I sell a coin as well. I'll tell them what coin I'm selling, I'll tell them what percentage I'm selling, and I'll tell them what I'm doing with my money. There is literally no work involved. Now, there's a reason that we have over 3,000 members now, and that's because we've had some big successes over the last few years. Not least to mention is Phantom that did a 700x gain. So have a look at how you got on in the last bull cycle. Have a look at the profits that you made. Compare against the members on copymycrypto.com. If they don't stack up against the members, read through the site and see if this is something that could benefit you. Anyway, that is it from me, guys. Have a lovely day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.